Curious about where your favorite celebrities are resting in peace? In this intriguing video, we're uncovering the mysterious stories behind 17 famous stars who don't have traditional grave sites. From legendary musicians to iconic actors, we'll take you on a journey through history and explore the reasons behind their unique resting places. Get ready to be amazed and discover the secrets that lie beyond the gravestones. Join me as I dive into the fascinating world of celebrity grave sites, or lack thereof. All right, let's dive into the mysterious case of Patrick Swayze's missing gravesite. You might be surprised to learn that this beloved actor, known for his incredible talent and memorable roles, does not have a traditional resting place. So, what's the story behind it? Instead, after his passing, his body was cremated and his ashes were scattered over his ranch in New Mexico. This decision reflects Swayze's personal wishes and connection to his land. It's not uncommon for individuals to choose alternative methods of memorialization, such as scattering ashes in a meaningful location. While some fans may have expected a more traditional gravesite where they could pay their respects, Swayze's choice allows his memory to live on in a place that held significance for him during his lifetime. Regardless of the reasons behind the absence of a traditional gravesite for Patrick Swayze, one thing remains certain. His legacy lives on through his remarkable contributions to the world of entertainment. From iconic performances in films like Dirty Dancing and Ghost, he continues to captivate audiences even after his passing. So if you were ever wondering why there is no gravesite for Patrick Swayze, now you know the story behind it. Johnny Carson, the iconic late-night talk show host, left a lasting legacy in the entertainment industry. However, when it comes to his final resting place, there is a bit of mystery surrounding it. Unlike many celebrities who have public grave sites where fans can pay their respects, Carson's ashes were given to his family, and the location remains unknown to the public. It seems that Carson made a specific request for no public ceremony or gravesite. This decision may have been driven by his desire for privacy even after his passing. While we may not know the exact reasoning behind this choice, it adds an air of intrigue to his already fascinating career. Carson's absence of a traditional gravesite doesn't diminish the impact he had on television and comedy. His influence lives on through the countless hours of memorable moments he created on The Tonight Show and in the hearts of his fans. Bob Denver, the beloved actor known for his iconic role of Gilligan on the classic TV show Gilligan's Island, does not have a gravesite. After his passing, Bob Denver was cremated and his ashes were given to his family. The reason behind the absence of a gravesite for Bob Denver is not clear. It is possible that his family made a personal decision to keep his ashes in a private location or scatter them in a meaningful place. While it may be surprising to some fans who would like to pay their respects at a physical location, it's important to remember that memorialization can take various forms, whether through scattered ashes or private remembrance. And while we may not have a physical gravesite to visit, Bob Denver's legacy lives on through the countless hours of joy he brought us with his talent and humor. When it comes to the final resting place of the late American actor Larry Hagman, known for his iconic role as J.R. Ewing in the TV series Dallas, you won't find a traditional gravesite. After his passing on November 23, 2012, at the age of 81, Larry Hagman was cremated instead of being buried. According to reports, his ashes were scattered over his ranch in Parker, Texas. This decision might have been a personal choice made by Hagman or his family as a way to honor and remember him in a place that held special meaning to him. And while some may wonder why there is no physical gravesite for fans to visit and pay their respects, it's important to remember that different individuals and families have unique ways of honoring their loved ones after they pass away. In Larry Hagman's case, his ashes being scattered over his ranch serves as a meaningful tribute to his life and legacy. You might be surprised to learn that singer-songwriter John Denver doesn't have a traditional gravesite. After his passing, he was cremated and his family chose to scatter his ashes in the beautiful Rocky Mountains, which held a special place in his heart. However, even though there's no specific gravesite for John Denver, the city of Aspen, where he lived for many years, decided to honor him by erecting a memorial park. This park serves as a tribute to his legacy and allows fans and visitors to pay their respects and remember the talented musician. So, while you won't find a traditional gravesite for John Denver, you can still visit the Memorial Park in Aspen and appreciate the impact he had on music and the enduring love for his work. Rue McClanahan, the beloved actress who brought Blanche Devereaux to life on The Golden Girls, left a lasting legacy with her iconic role. However, when it comes to her final resting place, there is an intriguing mystery. She has no gravesite. After Rue McClanahan's passing on June 3, 2010, at the age of 76, she was cremated according to her wishes. Her ashes were then given to her family, who chose not to publicly disclose the location of her final resting place. Regardless of the reason behind the absence of a gravesite for Rue McClanahan, her impact as an actress and the joy she brought through her performances will always be remembered by fans around the world. When it comes to the final resting place of the legendary George Harrison, you won't find a traditional gravesite. After his passing in 2001 at the age of 58 due to lung cancer, Harrison's remains were cremated. In a private ceremony, his ashes were then scattered in the sacred waters of the Ganges and Yamuna rivers in India. This choice reflects Harrison's spiritual beliefs and connection to Indian culture. As a devout follower of Hinduism, he found solace and inspiration in Eastern philosophies throughout his life. The decision to scatter his ashes in these holy rivers was a deeply personal one that honored his spiritual journey. While there may not be a physical gravesite for fans to visit, Harrison's legacy lives on through his music and contributions to the world of rock and roll. His influence as a member of the Beatles and as a solo artist continues to resonate with fans around the globe. After the passing of the legendary actress CLORIS LEACHMAN, you might be wondering why there is no gravesite for her. Well, it turns out that CLORIS was cremated on February 7, 2021. Instead of having a traditional gravesite, some of her remains are being kept at her daughter, Dinah England's residence in Encinitas, California. As for what happened to the rest of her ashes, instead of a traditional burial, CLORIS' wishes were to have some of her ashes scattered at sea. This means that her final resting place is the vast ocean she loved so much. While it may be different from the traditional notion of a gravesite, keeping CLORIS's ashes close to her loved ones and scattering them at sea can bring comfort and serve as a beautiful tribute to her remarkable career and life. After the tragic death of comedy legend Robin Williams, many fans were left wondering why there is no gravesite to pay their respects. The day after his passing, Robin Williams was cremated and his ashes were scattered in San Francisco Bay off the coast of Marin County. While some may find it surprising that such a beloved figure doesn't have a traditional gravesite, it's important to remember that everyone has their own wishes for what happens after they pass away. In Robin Williams' case, he chose to have his ashes scattered in a place that held personal significance to him. It's also worth noting that the decision not to have a physical gravesite doesn't diminish the impact and legacy of his career. Robin Williams will always be remembered for his incredible talent and the joy he brought to millions of people around the world through his performances. So, while there may not be a traditional gravesite where fans can visit, we can honor Robin Williams' memory by celebrating his remarkable career and remembering the laughter he brought into our lives. So, here's the scoop on Tom Petty's gravesite, or lack thereof. After his passing, Tom Petty was actually cremated and his ashes were returned to his family. As for where his final resting place is, it remains a bit of a mystery. There have been rumors circulating that he may have been laid to rest at the Self-Realization Fellowship Lake Shrine in Pacific Palisades near Los Angeles. However, it hasn't been confirmed whether his ashes were scattered there or not. So while we don't have a concrete answer on the gravesite front, one thing is for sure: Tom Petty's music and legacy will continue to live on in our hearts. DESI ARNAZ, the beloved actor and musician, left behind a legacy that will forever be remembered. However, when it comes to his final resting place, there is no traditional gravesite to visit. After his passing, ARNAZ was cremated and his ashes were scattered, symbolizing a different kind of farewell. His funeral took place in Solana Beach, California on December 4th, 1986. The private service was attended by around 100 people, including his former wife, Lucille Ball. It was reported that Ball was deeply emotional during the service, highlighting the enduring bond between the two iconic figures. While some may wonder why there is no physical gravesite, it's important to remember that everyone has their own unique way of honoring and remembering loved ones. In this case, scattering his ashes allowed for a more personal and symbolic tribute to his life and contributions. Though there may not be a traditional gravesite to visit, his impact on the entertainment industry lives on through his work and the memories he created with fans around the world. Janis Joplin, the iconic singer and songwriter, left a lasting impact on the music industry with her powerful vocals and raw talent. However, when it comes to her final resting place, there is no gravesite to visit. After her untimely death, there was a private funeral service held for Janis Joplin. However, it was an intimate gathering attended only by her parents and her aunt. Following the ceremony, Joplin was cremated. Instead of having a traditional gravesite, Janis Joplin's ashes were scattered in a unique and symbolic way. They were released from a plane into the vast expanse of the Pacific Ocean, as well as along Stinson Beach. This unconventional choice reflects Joplin's free-spirited nature and love for adventure. It allows fans to remember and honor her in their own personal way, while embracing the freedom she embodied throughout her career. Although there is no physical gravesite to visit, Janis Joplin's legacy lives on through her music and the impact she made on generations of artists and fans alike. She will forever be remembered as one of the greatest voices in rock history. When it comes to the legendary actor Cary Grant, there is a mysterious aspect surrounding his final resting place. Unlike many celebrities, Cary Grant does not have a traditional gravesite. Instead, after his passing, he was cremated and his ashes were given to his daughter Jennifer and his wife Barbara. But we finally found out that in 1986, his ashes were scattered in the vast expanse of the Pacific Ocean. In a heartfelt tribute, Cary Grant's ashes were set adrift in the beautiful Pacific Ocean, forever becoming part of its vastness. It was a fitting farewell for a man who had captivated audiences with his charm and charisma on screen. While we may not have a physical gravesite to visit, Cary Grant's legacy lives on through the timeless films he left behind. His remarkable career continues to captivate audiences even today. So, next time you find yourself watching one of his classic movies, take a moment to appreciate the enduring talent of this Hollywood icon, even if we can't visit a traditional gravesite in remembrance. And when it comes to the final resting place of legendary musician John Lennon, you won't find a traditional gravesite. After his passing, John Lennon was cremated at the Ferncliff Cemetery. His widow, Yoko Ono, took his ashes and scattered them in Central Park, New York City. Although there is no specific gravesite for fans to visit, there is a beautiful memorial in Central Park called Strawberry Fields. It serves as a tribute to Lennon's memory and is a place where fans can gather and pay their respects. So while there may not be a physical gravesite for John Lennon, his legacy lives on through his music and the memorial that bears his name in Central Park. It's a special spot where fans can come together and honor the incredible career of this iconic musician. Did you know that Kurt Cobain, the legendary frontman of Nirvana, does not have a traditional gravesite? Instead, his ashes were brought to the former Namgyal Monastery in Ithaca, New York in 1994 and remain there to this day. While there is no physical gravesite for fans to visit, there is a special place dedicated to Cobain's memory. The Kurt Cobain Memorial Park in Aberdeen, Washington, is the first official and full-scale memorial dedicated to him. It serves as a tribute to his life and legacy. Even though there isn't a traditional gravesite for Cobain, his impact on music and pop culture continues to be felt. Fans can still pay their respects at the Memorial Park or by listening to his iconic music that shaped an entire generation. David Cassidy, the beloved musician and actor, left a lasting impact on the entertainment industry. However, when it comes to his final resting place, there is an interesting twist. Instead of having a traditional gravesite, David's ashes were scattered at 10 a.m. Eastern Time on September 1st, 2008, in Saratoga Springs, New York. Surrounded by close friends and loved ones, this unconventional choice reflects David's free-spirited nature and desire for a more unique farewell. While some may wonder why there is no physical gravesite to visit and pay respects to, it is important to remember that everyone has their own way of honoring their loved ones. So, instead of a traditional grave marker or tombstone, David Cassidy's memory lives on through his incredible body of work and the memories shared by those who knew him best. His impact on the world of music and entertainment will forever be cherished by fans around the globe. So, here's the scoop. His whole life, Gary Coleman was surrounded by people constantly taking advantage of him and picking his pockets. And there was a legal battle over Gary Coleman's ashes. Anna, who was also running Gary's corporation, ended up being named the executor and beneficiary of his will after a fierce legal battle with his ex-wife Shannon Price, pocket picker. Shannon claimed that Gary had signed a handwritten codicil that changed his 2005 will, making her the sole heir and executor. But guess what? The judge didn't buy it. And after a fierce legal battle, Anna won. Now, fast forward to Anna bringing Gary's ashes back to Oregon. She spilled the beans to the Inquirer and made it clear that she has yet to decide on a final resting place for him. And she's not planning on sharing it with anyone, not even her husband. Of course, this doesn't diminish his impact on the entertainment industry. Coleman will always be remembered for his iconic role as Arnold Jackson in the sitcom Different Strokes, 1978-1986. His talent and humor continue to live on through his work. So while there may not be a physical gravesite for Gary Coleman, his legacy lives on in our hearts and through the laughter he brought us during his career.